this is for Sagittarius. Greetings everyone, a warm welcome. Hey, thanks for joining me. And Sagittarius, this is your November reading. We are using the John Holland Psychic Tarot, which really connects with the colour vibrations and the chakras as well. And then that's a 7-card spread called the Mystic 7. At the end we will do a final high vibrational card as well. So let's get into your shuffling and see what's in store for Sagittarius for November 2018. Well, I think that might be it. Okay, so the first card is your current situation, which is the 8 of Wands, which is accelerated motion. Your second card is your obstacles card, which is the 3 of Swords, which is heartache and loss, which is probably nice that it's in an obstacles position because it is a card that one would think of as an obstacle most often. Number 3 is your aspiration, and that is the harmony card, which is the Lovers card as the major arcana. Number 4 is what needs to be awakened, another major arcana. This is number 12, the sacrifice or the hanged man. Number 5 is the what lies behind you, which is another major arcana. It's a big reading for you guys. That is number 16, disruption or the tower card. Number 6 is the next stage. Wow. Well, this is really cool. This is another major arcana. It's number 3, or fertility, which he calls it here, which is the Empress card. And your final card is what will be. Wow, my goodness. This is number 20, which is the Judgment card, and he calls it there the Truth. So we see, if we're looking here, a fairly muted palette because we have so many of the black borders, and interestingly enough the cards that you have are relatively, even those ones with the black borders, are relatively muted colour palettes as well, and then these two are also quite, you know, subtle and not very bright. So when we see so many of the major arcanas come in, it's as if we're not necessarily involved in the action. I often say this is much more about universal timing, and sometimes it can seem as if we're not in control of our life per se, that events are occurring out of our jurisdiction. I find when we go through periods like this that immense change can happen, sometimes unexpected, sometimes not in directions we wanted to go in, but inevitably it brings about the new us and the new journey and the new direction. I also find this quite powerful that this is happening for November as it merges into your guys' birthday energy coming up, because I also mentioned to people that your birthday time is truly the most powerful time of the year. It's when you chose to come in to be born. So it to you individually is the most important day of the year. And I often feel that birthdays need a very reverent celebration, you know, one of connection to ourselves and why we're here and what we need to learn each time. So there's no doubt that for some of you this will be a pretty immense journey coming into your birthday time period, in and around that December energy time. It's also the end of the year as well. So you guys, a little bit like the Capricorns, get this double whammy of energies coming and going that you get to work through and kind of utilize as positive forces. So let's start with the first card, which was the 8 of Wands, the accelerated motion. It is always a beautiful card to see. It denotes change and quite quick change and movement. She's looking up to the skies, and the card traditionally can infer air travel. So some of you may be going on a trip or on an aeroplane, whether it's work related or career or hobby or family or passion or something along those lines. This, I feel this reading, because it's a very big one by the looks, will take you in and around through December as well. The other thing that the 8 of Wands can talk about is, because it's the creative force card, it can talk about our passions and our desires and finding new energy and influence around that area of life as well. So some of you might get a sudden buoyancy around ideas or creative passions to do with your career options or your hobbies. You might be publishing something or writing something or finishing a project or finishing a degree or moving to a next stage in the chapter of your life around a career or a creative force, or even sometimes this means new relationships as well, and it can be passionate relationships, so you know, like a romance or a love affair and things along those lines. Given that we have the Lovers card sitting right above it and all of these major arcanas, it could cover off any area of those, and it could be different for each of you as well. We come to the next card, which is the Obstacles, and we have that Three of Swords, which often talks about feeling heart pain. Now, I usually have so many beautiful little heart stones, and I often put one on there to kind of remove any feeling of loss or angst, and it just eases the tension and it gives off a nice positivity to your heart area and also your chest and lungs. So this card can turn up when we see things such as a potential separation or divorce. It can be the falling apart of either personal relationships, and this can be your romantic one, or it can be also a business relationships where a business decides to cease to exist, you know, so the partnership that may have been formed previously is now dissolved, so a dissolution of sorts. It can also be a time when we see the need for reconciliation or mediation or communication, because this is a Swords card. So if any of you are going through emotional turbulence with a relationship, whether it be a commercial one such as a business, or a private one, whether it's a romantic one or a family or siblings or parents, this could be a really good time to try and make the healing happen, to communicate with this relationship. If it's one that you want to see pass out of your life and you're ready to let it go, you know, you just feel it's time to move on, then this could be when it happens. But if it's one you really want to try and save, communication, mediation, working through it, getting resources to help pull it back together, such as counselling or another person's perspective, or spending time together or restructuring, this could be really beneficial to you. If we come to the next, also it can mean physically to be aware of your heart, so your heart health, and your lungs, chests and breasts for women as well. Get them checked. Some of you might do a yearly mammogram. For women and men can have, you know, men can actually get cancer of the breast as well, but I'm thinking more for women here. If this is about the time that you would get a mammogram, perhaps it might be an idea for you to do that. Some of you might get lung infections or chest infections. It might be prudent to monitor those and watch them. If we come up to the top card up here, which is the Aspiration, this is number 6, the Lovers card, or Harmony. So this is what you might aspire to have in your life, to feel this love or to feel harmony. And we can kind of see that with this Heartache and Loss card. So some of you might be wanting to rebalance your lives, and if there's been dissension or a falling out or problems, whether it be, as I say, in careers or emotions or close relationships, it does feel as though relationships are being mentioned here, to be fair. But if there has been some dissension, this could be a time when you really wish it would just come back together, when you just want to heal things up, when you want harmony in your life again. So if this is what you want, we've talked a little bit about how this can be achieved. It's through communication is the first form of activation to bring about harmony. Communication is not just about us talking either, it's about listening as well. Often we talk too much and we don't listen, or we don't hear what the other party has to say to us. It could be some of you are really seeking to find a deep love connection, so you might be out there looking for a new partner. There's a possibility, when we've seen this accelerated motion under here, that someone might come in. This card, also the Fertility card, often talks to us about new relationships, romance, a sexual chemistry. So there is a potential for a spark here to happen for you guys, for some sort of attraction and possible romantic relationship. And it seems as though some of you are either wanting to ignite this or for it to happen, or to re-heal a current relationship or bring it back into balance again. So this can also be around businesses, most definitely. It can be that maybe some of you are wanting to form a cooperation or a new business, or you're looking for a business partner. This is also a possibility for you to achieve at this time. The Harmony card can also represent the coming into your life of a new pet, a pet that you really dearly connect with as well. So lots of different perspectives with the card, and again, because it's a major arcana, and the universe will be directing you to these opportunities. So remember, the meeting of new people in your life, or new pets, or new situations, or businesses, or anything along those lines, it's never a coincidence. Everything is part of the greater picture and plan. So if we come down to card number 4, it's what needs to be awakened, and it's this card, the Sacrifice, which is the Hanged Man, which is a funny one that needs to be awakened. But I think if we view it from this rainbow that's coming into her head, that's illumination, it's understanding, it's cosmic connection, it's awareness, it's an epiphany. So these are the things that may need to be awakened. It's like realizing a direction you're going in, or understanding why certain things have happened, or being able to come to the point at which you know which direction to take. So some of you might have been pondering, do I do this or do I do that? Do I stay with this one or go there? Do I choose this job or business partner, or do I do this? So it feels as though if you meditate on it enough, or you activate it enough, or you connect with it enough, you may get this answer through illumination, through cosmic awareness, through connection to the greater. It sometimes is a delayed effect, so it often talks about timing, and we've mentioned this, that this is the cosmos timing this. This is the greater perspective, this is the higher self, and sometimes they don't, or it's not they, but that energy doesn't respond to time the same as we do. So I do feel that often when the Hanged Man is out, or the Sacrifice card, it's about an understanding that if timing is really something that you're pushing from your agenda, you have to sometimes let it go. You have to understand that things will occur and happen when they're meant to. But yes, there are certain things that we need to do and put into place and act in a certain manner at the same time. We come to the 5th card, and this is what lies behind you, and it's Disruption, or the Tower. So it's quite good that it's lying behind you, but it could insinuate that something recently, probably within the last, I would say, 5 months or so, has come about that's perhaps created a falling away of some sort. It could have been sudden, it could have been tumultuous, it could have been unexpected, it could have been unpleasant. Now, oftentimes this can be around relationships. It can be friends or family, siblings, parents, extended families, communities, workplaces as well. It can be the fact that we just don't feel it anymore. We're just not in it anymore. It doesn't meet our integrity values or our standards or our requirements. Something happens that needs it to topple, that needs it to be either gone completely or restructured. So some of you may have been through an event or a situation where you've found change came about and people have either moved on or out, or you have, or a situation or a job or career or people around the job. But as you move forward, all these amazing awareness and changes and growth and learning begin to take place. I do think a lot of people become a little bit anxious or feel discombobulated after an event such as the Tower takes place, because it does shake our foundations or our structures, and it can make us question why we've done this, or who we are we worthy, or are we good enough. So it can be really important after big events like this to really reconnect, reground and nurture yourself and feel the love for yourself and feel, you know, your knowledge and your power and your direction. It's regrouping and re-energizing. And as we come to what is next, or the next stage, we get to this number 3 and we see the fertility or the Empress, and she is really holding great energy in her heart space right in here. And we've had this heart space here with the sorrow and the feeling of the loss, but she reinvigorates it again, and she brings about the healing energy of the green colours. So she's grounded, she's calm, she's gentle, she's soothing, voluptuous, fertile. She's full of nature's gift to us of light, love, warmth, harmony, positivity. So if this is the next stage, it's about finding yourself in this position and nurturing yourself with these type of energies in particular. As I said, some of you may find this turns out to be a possible new liaison or a romance or a partnership or a coming together with someone else as well. For others of you, it might be very individually, again, about reigniting your passion, your heart, your soul, your energy, your buoyancy, your connection to Gaia in particular, to be outdoors, to be with nature, to pull the energy of nature into your body and really feel the strength again. If we come to the final card, the outcome, it's number 20, the Truth, which is the Judgment card. You know, you've got the Judgment and the Disruption at either ends of your reading here, and they both talk about change at really amazingly high levels, and especially at a deep interpersonal spiritual perspective, or a calling from somewhere way beyond us. So the Truth card and the Judgment card is about an epiphany, an awareness, an awakening, an illumination. It's the same thing, and it talks to us about bringing balance back into our life. So if we've had disharmony or we've been out of balance, such as these cards here suggest, and such as you've been perhaps seeking for more harmony and balance, the Truth and Judgment card over here is just re-embellishing that whole perspective, asking you to balance things out, to be aware and awake of this direction that you seek, to change certain things in your life that did not suit you, as the Disruption card over here, to be willing to hear messages from the cosmic source, or from the celestial helpers in your life, from your spirit guides, from angelic realm, because this is exactly what can happen at this point in time. You get this illumination, these epiphanies, these aha energies. They can be profound, they can be strong, they can come in over time, they can change your direction and take you to a new place. So as I said, it's a really big reading. I think it's worth coming back to look upon as the month of November moves through, and because I feel this is talking to you a lot about your birthday coming up as well, it could even pay you to come into it closer to your own birthday to re-familiarize yourself with the messages and the energy that the cards give off, which might help you to gain insight and to find harmony and to bring about balance and to understand the Judgment card and where it takes you and what changes will come in. The Judgment card can sometimes refer to as well head things, so stuff going on with the head, such as hearing issues, eye issues, neck pain, and so can this card here. So some of you might need to get, as I said, we've talked about the lungs and the chest. Feels as though it's the upper body for you guys. Some of you may even be looking at getting eye tests, or get your ears checked, or you might have a flu-like symptom that blocks up your hearing and stuff as well. So there we are, Sagittarius. Let's put these ones away and do the last card for the reading. We'll just do that. And these are beautiful angel cards. They are angels from Atlantis. Really high energy. They give off a beautiful message. So we'll just shuffle these for Sagittarius and see what last message they are bringing you. Oh, that's the last one. Haniel, willpower. I love the picture on the card with the whale's tail about to dive into that beautiful big ocean. So I'm going to read a little bit for you from the book about the Haniel willpower, and we'll see what specific messages they are actually telling you. But Haniel is the angel you can call upon for the month of November and leading into December. So we will just find the message. Just like the great whales of the ocean's deep swimming in Mother Earth's tears, you are asked to bring willpower to your life in order to achieve the possibility of glory. The ancient souls of these beautiful sea creatures bring them to the flow of the universe. This reminds us that all is well in the divine matrix, and so take heart from their example. If your will is not currently flowing for you, ask Haniel for loving assistance, and you will feel the ruby ray force flooding through you, giving you such strength of purpose and healing you that you will once again feel clear to emit your magnificence in the world. Chant Om 3 times for greater clarity. So I think the willpower was a really nice way to finish off, especially given how many major arcana cards were in there and how much potential change we see coming about for you guys. And also for the card that your aspiration was, you know, bring about the willpower to know that you have the strength to move through any changes that come, because inevitably they do take us to places of light and amazement and awe, and utilize that ruby red force because it's there for you for the whole month and moving into and beyond December as well. So Angel Haniel, willpower. Thank you for joining me, guys. I love it when you leave your comments and sub the channel as well. Check out your moon and rising signs too, because you might find some beautiful messages within those too. Thanks guys, have a wonderful November ahead. Much love, namaste.